will artificial intelligence put copywriters out of business? That's the question a lot of copywriters are asking. And a lot of copywriters are scared that they're going to be out of work soon. A lot of copywriters are just really nonchalant about it. They're not worried about it at all. And so today I want to share a perspective that may be different than what you've heard from other experts and other copywriters. My name is Donnie Bryant. I've been a copywriter since 2007. In all that time, I have never shot a video while driving. So hopefully we can stay safe and have fun in this conversation. It'll be pretty quick, I think. But as you may know, there's more and more copywriting programs out there that use GPT-3 technology to emulate human language. And a lot of copywriters are already using it to increase their productivity, especially when you're creating multiple variations of the same copy for Facebook ads or Google display or whatever. And so it's a tool that's being used by copywriters to actually make their business better. And it's also being used by entrepreneurs who don't want to hire copywriters. They would rather just pay $97 to have a program that does what they feel a copywriter can do. It's interesting. And if you've used any of these programs, you'll know. If you haven't, you may have heard, but I'm going to tell you now whether or not you have heard. Some of the copy that comes out of these programs is decent. Some of it is worthless. And some of it is kind of in between. You could work with it after it prints out or spits out what it's going to give you. It's something that you could work with and craft into something that you could use for your business. And so that kind of sets up the reality that I want to talk to you about. This technology is getting better and better. The more we use it, the more inputs it has, and the better we'll get. And I usually tell people, when someone asks, I usually will say, artificial intelligence can never do a copywriter's job. They'll never replace copywriters because people are people. People are unpredictable. People are emotional and computers are not. And then also, there's such nuance in language, there's such nuance in emotion that it's going to be really difficult for a computer program or computer software to understand and navigate that gracefully, elegantly, and then even to predict what emotions are going to be elicited by what, because there's this little weird things. Different things have different emotions for different audiences, different words, different personalities, etc. And I normally will say, hey, don't worry about this because it's not going to take your job. But my perspective is changing a little bit. And it's based on what I just mentioned about the quality differential in copy. So if you are a really, this sounds derogative, I don't mean for it to, but if you're a mediocre copywriter and you're satisfied at that place in your career and that place in your abilities, you're probably going to find more and more copy jobs they're going to disappear because artificial intelligence can do mediocre work. Artificial intelligence can do basic, straightforward, matter-of-fact copy. It doesn't need a brilliant mind, right? There's already articles more for content more than for copy. But there's already tons of copy online written by artificial intelligence. There just is. And if you're mediocre and satisfied with that, your job may be in danger in the near future. If you're a decent copywriter committed to being better, getting better all the time, then I would suggest that you're probably safe for a while. Because if you're willing to do the work to understand human psychology, human emotionality, if that's even a word, if you can understand human emotion and understand how to elicit it, I think you're going to be able to do what a computer cannot do for the foreseeable future, a few years. and able to catch on to trends and do different things, you are probably going to be safe for a little while, but maybe not forever, unless you continue to get better and better, because the machine learning. That's what it does. It gets better and better. Pardon. Yeah, but you know who's safe is going to be those copywriters who are committed to being great. You're committed to learning the craft. You're committed to learning people, understanding what makes them tick, understanding what emotions are associated with what words, what concepts, and niche specific. That's probably even more true. I think if you're at that level where you really understand an audience super well, you understand an industry super well, and you understand the language super well, and you're committed to maintaining that sharp edge, you'll never be replaced by a computer. It'll never happen. I don't think, because you're a human. The machine will never be a human. And it's interesting, there was a news article, I think it was about a month ago, a guy who he used the same technology that we're talking about in the copywriting AI. He took text messages and instant messages from his fiance and plugged them into the machine to make the machine emulate his fiance and pretend he was talking to her. She passed away. I'm sorry, I should have said that. She had passed away, and he wanted to continue having digital conversations with her in his own mind. And so he plugged all this stuff in, and he's having conversations with AI, pretending it's his fiance. If that were possible, and the article that I read trying to make it seem like it is, but can you imagine being able for a computer to be able to speak to you the way that your significant other does, or your mother does, or your father does? Yeah. Can you imagine that being the case? Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit different because the computer won't have a pet name for you. AI is not going to do that. But just the ability to communicate emotion, the ability to connect. I can't imagine that an artificial intelligence will ever be able to do that in a way that's undetectable to humans. And then also in a sense of getting people excited enough to buy something or to take what's the word I want to say? To take action. People are different. They have emotions that we buy largely based on emotion. Our attention is grabbed and held because of emotion and curiosity. It's going to be hard for a computer to work all those in the way that a skilled human being who knows his audience can do. So I'm going off into the weeds. If you're a mediocre copywriter, beware, because your jobs could be in danger soon. If you're a decent copywriter, you probably have some time, but you got to continue to improve your skills and get more experience. Dedicate yourself to becoming good, so then you'll be safe for a while, likely. If you want to be safe forever, you got to try to get great. You got to try to get really strong as a copywriter. And I would suggest again that the more you're able to speak into a niche, to really crawl into a niche and embody all the nuances of that niche, the more insulated you'll be from threats from artificial intelligence. So that's it. I just wanted to say that, because like I said, normally I would say don't worry about that. AI is not going to come for your job. It's coming for some jobs though. It's coming for some businesses, and you gotta be able to step your game up if you want to stay safe for a while. That's it. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have, I'd love to hear your opinion, by the way. If you have experience with artificial intelligence, feel free to make a comment below. I'd love to hear it, and let's have a conversation about it, because I don't know everything. I don't know if I said it or not, but I've used artificial intelligence program, I think 2 of them, with limited a little bit in my attempt to write copy, and it can give you some stuff, but it's never been up until this point at the level where I can confidently just hit the button and send it off to a client, hit the button, send it out to customers. And in many cases, it's just giving you the start, and you got to put all the magic in. So that's my experience. I want to hear about your experience. Feel free to comment, and thank you so much.